So Jennette McCurdy is exposing her dead mother for the hell that she's put her through. Former iCarly star Jennette claims that her mother overly controlled her life. She claims that her mother would give her genital exams and that she wouldn't ever let her shower alone. It looks like Jennette's mother, Debbie, always wanted to be a famous child star. And since she didn't get to live out her dreams, she made Jennette do it for her. So let's get into it. So Jennette recently did an interview with People magazine where she revealed disturbing details about her relationship with her mother. If you guys don't know who Jennette McCurdy is, she is a former Nickelodeon child star, and she played Sam Puckett on the show iCarly and the spinoff Sam and Cat. Ever since working with Nickelodeon, and more specifically Dan Schneider, Jennette McCurdy hasn't been too fond of her Nickelodeon past. As an adult, she is focused on her own career, whether that's her podcast or her one-woman show. If you guys were not aware, Jennette has a one-woman show, like I said, and it's called I'm Glad My Mom Died, which is obviously a very provoking title, because if you do have your mother in your life, you know that person is very close to you, or maybe they're not, I don't know. But anyways, not a lot of people say that they're glad that their mother died. This does make me think about Jennette's brothers and her father, because I wonder what they think about the name of her show and her press tour where she talks poorly about her dead mother. But once you guys see what she went through, you would understand. Before we get into her interview with People magazine, here is a quick summary of her one-woman show, and I want to point out this one line right here where they write, Jennette felt ashamed of 90% of her resume and ultimately felt unfulfilled. So she turned to alcohol, but since that didn't work, she quit acting and pursued writing and directing in 2016. So as you guys know, Jennette McCurdy isn't featured in the iCarly reboot, and it looks like she's just doing her own thing. She didn't really want to be a part of that show because she has so much trauma associated with that time. Now let's dive into her interview, because she opens up about the intense physical and emotional trauma she went through with her mother. Jennette starts off by explaining why she named her one-woman show I'm Glad My Mom Died. She said it's thought-provoking, and the show itself details this physical and emotional crap she went through at the hands of her mother, Debbie, who died of cancer in 2013. But even though it may seem black and white, there's a fullness to my narrative. Life can be dark and messy. Nobody has a perfect life. And Jennette really opens up in this interview about some of the disgusting and disturbing things that her own mother, Debbie, would do to her. So Jennette was raised by her mother, Debbie, and her father, Mark, and not everything was great at home. Jennette says, and despite of her successful career on television, life at home was far from perfect. She was quoted saying, "My earliest memories of childhood were of heaviness and chaos. My mom's emotions were so erratic that it was like walking on a tightrope every day. The mood fluctuations were daily." She also shares that she's coming up with a memoir, so it looks like she's going to have a book where she's going to detail some of these stories. And it seems like Jennette McCurdy had a very dark childhood, not only on set but off of set when she was home. Jennette said in this interview, when she was young, she witnessed physical fighting between her parents, and recalls Debbie, her mother, having outbursts that would turn violent. And this really can mess with your psyche. You guys may or may not know, I do have a psychology degree. I'm no doctor or anything, but I learned about childhood psychology and abnormal psychology and all of that. And this type of environment is really toxic for a child to be raised in. I can't begin to imagine what a young Jennette McCurdy must have been feeling, because she had a bunch of pressure on set to be this star, and then at home she had a toxic environment, so she never really felt safe. And her mother, Debbie, made it so much worse. Jennette said by the time she was 6 years old, her mother Debbie became fixated on her only daughter. My mom had always dreamed of being a famous actor, and she became obsessed with making me a star. So despite the fact that Jennette was super shy, she went on auditions and began working steadily. I felt like my job was to keep the peace, she says, and all I wanted to do was make my mom happy. So she really became a child star because her mom wanted to be a child star and she couldn't, so she's going to make her daughter do this. And Jennette didn't have a desire to do it, but she just wanted to please her mother in the process. And as you guys know, Jennette McCurdy has been super open about her eating issues. I mean, her podcast is named Empty Inside, and she starts to talk about when these mental health issues began to develop. So it looks like Jennette's mother became obsessed with her daughter's looks, because if she's going to be a child star, she's going to have to look the part. So when Jennette was 10 years old, her mother started bleaching her hair and whitening her teeth. When Jennette was 11 years old, Debbie introduced calorie counting, which obviously should never be anything that an 11-year-old should be thinking about. I do want to give you guys a trigger warning because this is the worst part of it all, and I can't imagine what Debbie would have been thinking. So until Jennette was 17 years old, her mother insisted on performing a genital and a breast exam. So she would make her daughter, up until she was 17 years old, I guess, expose herself to her mother, Debbie, so that she could do an exam of her privates and her top. And honestly, I have no idea what her mother would be examining or looking for, but obviously that's very traumatic and something that Jennette is now talking about, which is very hard to do. She also claims that she never let Jennette shower alone. Like, Debbie wouldn't let her daughter shower alone, which that could mean a few things. Like, was the mother in the room? Like, was there a door off the bathroom? Was the mother actually in the shower? I'm sure some of these details will be revealed in her book, but I was just so disgusted when I read this. I was like, holy crap, we're talking about this on my channel because Jennette went through hell as a child and she deserves so much respect, and we need to protect her at all cost. And as you guys know, Jennette McCurdy's mom died in 2013 of cancer. So it's a little bit eerie because her mother can't really respond and defend herself. She said she was able to recover from these issues in 2018 thanks to intense therapy. It was only distance from her that allowed Jennette to get healthy. So she really needed that space from her mother because obviously her mother was extremely overbearing, and it seems like a little bit of brainwashing, manipulative vibes, in my opinion. Jennette also told People magazine that she was also so repressed and delayed developmentally because of her mother's control. So it was only after Debbie died that Jennette rebelled, getting physical with people and experimenting with alcohol for the first time. For years, she struggled with ongoing eating issues and dependency on alcohol until she finally made some drastic changes, which good for her because a lot of child stars, they just end up going down that road and they never recover. So that is so just wonderful, and so much power to Jennette for being able to recover from this. Jennette said, "It's a risk to change your life, but I made it my mission." So she's left Hollywood behind and she's building a life outside of her mother's constraints. Jennette claims that she didn't know how to find her identity without her mom. And I'm not gonna lie, it was very hard to get here. But now I'm at a place in my life that I never would have thought was possible. And I finally feel free. So many good vibes going out to Jennette. And I know this interview is so inspiring to those who have had poor relationships with their mother and they're trying to look up to someone who doesn't have a great mother and they're still doing well in their life. And that's Jennette McCurdy. But I have to mention a few other things because it wouldn't be a Sloan video unless I looked at everything, and there are some things that I come across online and I'm like, okay, I have to bring this up in a video. So we need to talk about how Jennette at one point I felt like was I know I said brainwashed earlier, and this is kind of what I'm alluding to, because at one point Jennette really did love her mother. I found this one article that wrote that Jennette has written about her mother for major publications over the years, and her attitude towards her has shifted over time. And I want to acknowledge that people can change, they can realize things, and I'm pretty sure that's what happened to Jennette, but at one point she was super close to her mom. For example, in 2011, she wrote an essay for the Wall Street Journal in which she expressed admiration for her mother, who was diagnosed with cancer after a 15-year remission. This is what Jennette wrote. "I can't imagine how difficult it must be for my mother to tolerate all she's gone through and continues to go through the pain, the worry, and the battle. She wakes up every day hurting and she goes to sleep hurting even more. My mother, the constant optimist, sprightly woman I know her to be, is caged along with this hideous beast they call cancer." And again, I'm sure at one point, like, her relationship with her mother is allowed to change. And I'm glad that we can see this change because she realizes that the relationship she did have with her mother wasn't right. It was uncomfortable. And I think it shows that Jennette's human, that at one point she was, in love with her mother and that she really cared for her. And I'm sure she still cares for her in some ways, but she also recognizes that what her mother did to her was so wrong. So at the end of the day, I'm sending a bunch of love to Jennette McCurdy because she has been so vulnerable with the public. We have talked about Jennette McCurdy before on my channel, and if you guys have not seen those videos, definitely go check them out because there's a lot to go through. If you guys have any other video ideas for me, here is my email below. But let's go ahead and open this P.O. Box package item. It looks like it really went through something, so I'm sorry about this. And it looks like it's from Christine. So let's go ahead and check it out. Oh my gosh, maybe, are you in Hawaii? Oh my gosh, Hawaii. I love Hawaii. That is so cool. So let's go ahead and see what they sent to me. Again, oh my gosh, it smells so good. Why does it smell like literal? It smells like the beach. Like you think about like Hawaii and sunscreen and stuff. I just opened it and I smell Hawaii. Oh my god, it smells so good. Okay, let's see what this is. So let's see if there's a note first. Okay, so there is a lot in here, so let's go ahead and get to the note. Sloan, you are the absolute best. Oh, thank you. I have a nonprofit in Hawaii called Valoha Giving Movement. Valoha Giving Movement. Oh, it's so pretty. We are very widespread and we help family and children in need. I love watching your videos. I bought some Hawaiian goodies for you and your boyfriend. Love always, Christina. Oh, thank you so much. And I'll list everything with your nonprofit below. Such a pretty name, and definitely go check it out, guys. It's good to give to charities, so it's nice to learn about these different nonprofits that we may not have heard of before. So thank you, Christina, and I love that you're doing all that hard work. It's really just like such a blessing. But let's go ahead and see what she sent me because I love Hawaii, guys. I think I've been 3 times before, and I just love it. So these are I hit my microphone, sorry. These are really, really good, like Hawaiian like chocolates, and these are chocolate covered in, or macadamia nuts covered in chocolate, which I'm so excited for. Let's go ahead and see what is next. There's a lot in here, guys. So this right here is, oh, a shirt, and nice. Oh my gosh, I'm glad you got me an extra large because I'm like a large, and I'm definitely not a medium. So yes, this is so cool. Look at that vibe. And I love that like this is Hawaii stuff because I've actually been here. So I could be like, you know what? Yeah, my subscriber gave it to me, but I've also been there. I would love to do a Hawaii meet and greet next time I go. This is amazing. And it smells so good. I think that's what smells really good. I'm not too sure. Let's go ahead and see what else is in here. We've got, oh, right here. Are these cards? Oh my gosh, these are like Hawaiian cards. That is so cool, like playing cards. I love playing cards with my friends. Like it's some of my favorite things to do. So I really appreciate these. These will be awesome too when I go to like Florida, like bring these with me. So I, have stuff to do. So thank you. And then let's go ahead and see what else is in here. There are a few more items. This right here is this is what smells really good. This is a sea salt cuckoo. It's like, I think it's some type of like fibrous plant or something that you can like wash your skin with, but I'm not entirely sure. But this is so nice. I can't wait to put it in my shower. Oh my gosh, it smells so good. So here are a few more items. Here's a little like trinket, little like head of like I can't remember, the tiki head, is that what the name is? I can't entirely remember, but so cute. I love that. And then we've got a couple of keychains right here, which are so nice. I love the wood and they're just like super classic and good vibes. So thank you so much. Definitely go and check out their nonprofit below, guys. I'm going to link it. But thank you so much for these Hawaiian goods. I love them so much. Maybe we'll need to connect because I always have issues trying to get lihing moi. I think that's how you say it, like the prune like powder. So maybe we'll connect because I need a Hawaiian connection. But thank you so much. I really appreciate this, and I'll see you guys in a new video soon. Bye, guys.